The prisoner was eating his meal when he spotted an opportunity. While the guard was distracted, he quietly wrapped a piece of rope around his finger and tucked it away. Later, during the work detail, he doubled over and clutched his stomach, insisting he desperately needed to use the restroom. The guard agreed without much fuss, but made a strange demand. Andy had to shake a tree branch the entire time he was doing his business. Even then, the guard wasn't entirely convinced. He had someone bring over a weapon and fired a shot nearby every few seconds just to keep Andy on edge. What the guard didn't realize was that Andy was playing him too. 2 minutes later, the branch that had been swaying vigorously came to an eerie stop. The guard immediately went on high alert and opened fire toward Andy's location, but this time there was no response. He rushed over in a panic, only to find a long piece of rope dangling from the branch. Andy was long gone, vanished without a trace. By then, Andy had already made it to a nearby village. Just as he was about to slip away, he ran straight into 2 young boys playing outside. Surprisingly, they weren't scared at all. If anything, they were curious and came closer to get a better look. After making sure no one else was around, Andy had a sudden idea. He goaded one of the boys into sneaking home to grab a big axe, then sweet-talked the other into fetching some chili powder, promising to treat them to KFC if they pulled it off. 3 minutes later, one of the boys came back lugging a heavy axe. Andy could barely contain his excitement. He sat down immediately and started hacking away at the chains on his ankles like a man possessed. After what felt like 10,000 swings, he finally broke through. Right on cue, the other boy showed up with the chili powder. Without wasting a second, Andy sprinkled it across the path to cover his trail, then took off running and never looked back. About half an hour later, the guards arrived with a pack of tracking dogs, but they didn't get very far. The dogs hit the chili powder and started sneezing uncontrollably. The sight was so ridiculous that the 2 boys couldn't help but burst out laughing. When the guards spotted the axe embedded in a wooden post and the broken chains lying nearby, they knew Andy was already long gone. Days turned into weeks, and Andy remained on the run. His fellow inmates figured he'd made it out for good, probably living it up somewhere as a free man. But then late one night, the unthinkable happened. Andy was dragged back into the prison, his body covered in bruises and cuts, and the punishment didn't stop there. To send a message to the other prisoners, the warden threw Andy into solitary confinement the very next day, right in front of everyone, and left him there for an entire month. His friends could do nothing but watch helplessly. Most people assumed this would finally break him. But even after weeks of crushing isolation, Andy's spirit remained intact. That defiant look in his eyes and the determination in his step were still there, the only things keeping his dream of freedom alive. That evening, to celebrate Andy's release from solitary, the inmates threw together a little music party. The room was buzzing with energy. But what no one expected was that the guest of honor was busy sawing through the floorboards right under their noses. The singing and laughter drowned out every sound of the blade cutting through wood. Just as the party was hitting its peak, the lights-out bell rang. Andy had to stop what he was doing, and a